Clive. This is it then, brother. Indeed. You're wrong. Of course.
Joshua, what's wrong?
I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will. Or something akin to it.
His will?
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith Castle, after Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet, and in the process of doing so...
I'm surprised anything so...
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much...
Very well.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes. If you would do us the honor.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this myth
The day before we left for Finn.
What are these plans?
His plans for the Duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to the complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for with the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you.
It's a pity only they are...
'Tis true that though but one at least remains.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only...
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your...
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
My lord, I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me...
Lift up your head, you have our...
I mean...
My lady, what exactly...
As I'm sure you know, it has long been...
Indeed it has.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Alas, he did not live. He had intended, but it was not to be.
I see.
It saddens me to... It was your father's wish that you be presented with, but with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed. You are grown men, and while I would not presume to insist upon, I know that nothing would...
Thank you.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady.
Oh, I am much...
Do you know where we might find this?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more, it is found in the bellies of elder griffins. You see, we do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's wake, not far from...
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, your great... In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of...
What say you, Joe?
What?
Faster! Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is.
For House Rossfield. Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
You were right, boy.
Thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes. This radiant luster like frozen flame. Thank you, your father will...
Lady Goditha.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone... The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. And the graven vines encircling the stone
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies who would thwart his vision.
Oh, and only if we stood together. As feet.
Indeed. But this was more... It was a promise.
Thank you for remaining the stead...
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her, even if the armbands were incomplete. She would surely not have overlooked them, so...
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, you're of the deep love he had for... In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewellery be sent away from the camp. I tried to warn your father, but it was... When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short.
And thank the Founder.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the... And so my pursuit continued. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered.
Lady Goditha, on behalf...
As do I.
Thank you, my lord, for coming back to us.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance.
It is.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, let him see that you have...
I suppose it would be church. What do you say, Clive?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it. I prithee claim it. And I do not doubt that your father would prefer...
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive.
Here, take a look at my wares. Of course. Anything else? Of course. Go safely.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Thank you, Uncle.
As for down here... Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks.
I would have done the same.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman. But tell me...
From what little I saw...
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. The realm's armies, as you've seen firsthand, it's every man. Certain cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of... And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. In short, if Storm does not...
But how would one even begin to unite them?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to... Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest but I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion.
I thought he was retired.
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on them.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but you don't mind.
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never... And if the field...
That's the...
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course.
Excellent.
No.
Do you see that too?
What is it? Oh, please. Just make it stop. I'm scared.
Let's go.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal. Oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of salt, but I hadn't thought the corruption had reached... It's a fucking Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to...
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. You are no... I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore...
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only one.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. We will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen.
I'm flattered. And I have other What we need is a skilled up...
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves.
I shall.
My lord Marquis. Your lord uncle bade me escort the field marshal.
And I will see that my associate...
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin. Quentin.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asked. Go on, then.
You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years.
I know it's a lot to ask.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself with...
You know that's not what I...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced her. Who's to say you couldn't convince...
A stirring... I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us? Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much... I hear the roads are...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed. Rutherford is accompanying him. They will await your...
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he asked what Master Quinton would
Another hour. Just the thing we need. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you...
The more than...
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the...
Oh, don't you? The 7 high houses will be... They have all agreed to make the most generous... Oh, of course, it did take a little, but luckily I had some...
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's heads.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe, she had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the neck. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves and...
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be... Join us there at your earliest
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any, they'll be dead even before...
Perhaps I might suggest, though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the... Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality...
And what kind of company were you expecting him to...
Criminal? How? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this... Fine.
Upstanding. He called...
Once more onto the...
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation. Nor we wish simply to bring stability to the realm, and to do that we must convince those in power. There will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance, much resistance. If we... The fate of the world lies in but the well-being of her people lies in ours.
Uncle Byron.
Now, with that settled, let's move on. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied... Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford! Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. I
will.
What do you think that thing is? How the hell is Sid gonna deal with that?
You alright? About that. Oi! Let's see.
Something troubling you?
It's just... Etta's baby will be coming soon.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bit. I'll let the little tykes know they were welcome in the new.
So?
Well, the problem is that Etta's due any day now.
Is there anything I can do to... All right, then.
A good luck charm. But...
Not just any.
No. One, there's naught lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway. Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their supply.
Only the big day is fast approaching.
That or the bird whose horse it's attached to, aye. I was gonna stop by
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through. I think I might make that my first port of call.
You're a good friend, Clive.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me.
Oh, well...
A silver chocolate.
Oh, or maybe not. Though there was a man stopped by the rest not long ago, near some gutted hovel, not far. Most took him for a braggart and a lot.
We'll see.
Lord Rossfield. Don't look so surprised. I expect the Burning Quill already told you that the Undying have eyes everywhere, and mine just happened to be here in the rest. I wanted to thank you, my lord.
How do travel? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone.
I'm looking for a...
If that's the case, no one has seen a silk. Word is they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern nonsense about bringing good... If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be doing their...
You're probably right.
I've got greens
Looking
of
for
all
shelter.
shapes and sizes.
Come on inside.
Because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin, it don't mean we have to. Now, let's get this stall set out.
We've got a few rooms going spare now. You want a bed for the night? You speak to Martha.
Look, Daddy. Shining so brightly. Isn't it pretty?
Yeah. Pretty blooming sinister.
Can I help you with summit?
You wouldn't happen to sell silver chocobo feathers, would you?
Ideally. But if it's fancies you're after, I suggest you try
Was a silver chocobo seen?
Oh, yes. If
It wouldn't be the first time. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near Rhiannon Tride. It sounds almost too good to be true. But since I'm already here...
Can hardly make out a blooming thing.
Have care.
Tracks. Not left by bandits for a change. More tracks. The chocobo was here. And recently. Perhaps it still is. I don't hear anything. Well, I'll be damned. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend. Thank you. Let's get this back to Gav before they change their minds.
Was no trouble at all.
Still. Clive, how'd you get on?
Any luck, you say?
Crystal's crack. Is this what I think it is? Where in the hell did you find...
It's a long...
Right there on the road to Eastpool.
Everything up there's been abandoned for you. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'll find a new home. After all, that's what us endangered animals. Anyway, what matters is, you managed to nick us one of them, and now all that's left is...
I didn't know you could carve.
Reckon there's a lot you don't know about me. Like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife as I am with a sword. And that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with. What did you say it was from again? An Avis?
But it weren't your Avis, Sid. I slew one of my own at last.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit. I'm proud of you, Ember.
Don't speak too soon. I ain't done my trial yet.
There we go. What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to...
Oh, will I? I should go and see if Ed is awake.
Give it my best.
You can give it to yourself.
How are you feeling?
Well... Is...
Wrong? No, nothing like that. What it is...
Go on. It's... beautiful. Did you make it?
We did. Aye. It's from all of us here at the Hideaway. Your new family, like. It's a good luck charm. We may come up north when a band's on the way. I mean a baby. To let him know that they're part of the family too. Oh, I hope you like...
I thank you, my lords.
If there's anything you need.
I will.
Clive. Fancy a swift off. I'm thirsty.
I could be convinced. Don't you think you've had enough?
No, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
You know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over, what with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. Me whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. I'll never be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword. I may have had one too many.
you may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway. After I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for, you know.
I know.
Do you think they'll come back?
Of course they will. It's just a big crystal. How hard will it be?
If Joshua's worried about Jill... Joshua, I read your message. You're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but since we've returned from Drake's spine, I've felt it more and more.
I suppose it's not hard.
She doesn't think she belongs in...
And that's why we need to remind her, to let her know that we still need her. But how to...
Of course. Do you remember the time we and Jill and I broke...
To see that it was the first time Father had allowed us to join him. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to...
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say...
Then it seems you and Jill have...
Man's Hill.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed.
You're saying I should go and scout the area for band?
I'm saying we should first go and see if there are actually still any...
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive.
There's nowhere been spared.
We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place where...
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know of.
Then why not ask someone who...
Someone at the backyard? Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
Say what you will.
This should tide us over until the new moon.
What brings you?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for...
Snow day. I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. Both have similar climbs and the right elevation. If the...
Right.
Did you learn where we...
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in December.
The fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then Yote was... I recalled that she kept a record of our travels, so I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew, and she mentioned Oilerfeist Beck.
Whose shores border the meadows.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Looks like you've got fast.
Haven't seen any of those beastly blue-eyed... Do be careful.
I will.
Faster!
Are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
to fight.
See them?
I do. The flowers. Our friends. See, boy.
Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out. That was harder than I expected. thunder. She'll love them.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Jill, there's something I'd like to show you.
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, not here. Now, I know this is sudden, but how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. Yeah,
You don't need to say anything. We've been worried about you. Do you remember when I took you to
You saw me cry. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and no,
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there, and I knew then. I'll never... Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure. We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid.
Of course.
It is an honor to find... My name is Herman. I wish to be deployed to Ash.
No. The lands across the I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. Something important. Or rather... It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into... We were tortured. Until we feared no... And few ever survived long enough.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many, but they must be remembered. The Institute was run with military precision. Sid.
You were a good friend, but the fact remains that Ash is simply...
Sid, please.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. I'll go to Bad Bach and find the register.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vida Grace. Hidden in a
All right. I'll see what I can find there.
May the mothers...
Good girl.
Yeah!
Back to the stables, girl. This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here. Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture. Disposed of. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out. Forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. This must be the registry. So many names. This place was... But where is the architect of all this misery? It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed. done here?
I hear that you traveled to Ash, Cid. Did you by any chance recover the names of my fallen friends?
I did. Yes.
I may. The bearer registry. The director was a brutal man. He got no worse than he deserved.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no sign of a body. Or any record.
I pray that at least all their names are here. My friends. I can still remember their children who were taken from their bunks in the... No explanation.
They'd be happy to know that you survived.
But why did I make it out alive?
It's not your fault. See that their names live on. That way, at least. They're never truly gone.
Thank you, Cid. I'm going to write a book. All of Valisthea, and in the name...
Neither will I.
These are...
What do you think happened to Miss Midadol?
Cid, you have...
With what? You didn't take a...
No.
It's Miss Midadol. Very strange.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there.
In the class.
That's what I said.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind.
Not long ago.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way.
You didn't break it, did you, Cid? You really should be more careful around Miss Midadol's invention. Oh, don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise.
But who's gonna put Miss Midadol back together?
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that. She's in her...
Don't scare him. It's not...
Thanks for the warning. Mid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will.
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to... It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so... I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that... But not me. I've discovered how to do it with... Well, almost. First, I need to make a pro...
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know, but if a godfather's offering to lend... First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the tub and crown. Refined stuff. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer...
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the
No, they'll know where you might find some.
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Not exactly.
All right, Sid. Come to buy...
Only if you want. Mid needs a piece of light, but...
Most if it's durability you're looking for. Shell.
I do. Well, any old adamant...
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an ancient adamantus down in Carava, near up, but don't expect to make quick work of the bastard.
I'll keep that in mind. Come on. Here we are again. Carava. If you were a tortoise, Torgal, where would you hide? Looks like we found him. If Mid needs another, she can come and get it herself. Mid's oil. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all. I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype. Mid, tell me this is all you need.
You make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0.
And
a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
wait. The children. When they took apart your now that I think about it, they...
The young'uns? But why would they... I'll keep working on the model. You...
Sid!
She wasn't hiding. She's just busy working.
A new invention? Is it an airship?
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs a brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit.
Oh, the one you forgot! We remember.
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find. All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
That's...
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your... hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Not exactly. She seems preoccupied. But then again...
Well, did they have it?
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
Will it work? He's perfect! You're a genius.
What exactly are you going to use?
Only the most. The wings aren't going to move on their own. But with the right cog in the... well... That should do her. Here goes nothing.
Wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen our show.
First the skies, then the crystal. What next? The beach to upgrade Olga herself.
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pull clapped that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you?
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you.
Where to then, Torgal?
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen our...
All right, Torgal. I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't... To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there. It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without us.
We'll be waiting here.
Thank you. We won't be long. All right. Hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. In Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well, well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right, all right. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past, but without it, we wouldn't be, and we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home. Sorry for the wait. We're ready.
You be careful up there. Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. You earned this. All done?
I was wondering when next you'd visit. I well recall. It will take from him. Ah, yeah. Indeed. Then go. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. Now this, I believe you will find most interesting. If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.